Feed the beast. Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm hanging out at the patron server, playing a little Feed the Beast Revelation, and this is my big reactor here, the Extreme Reactor mod, and it does a pretty good, decent amount of power. It's like 37k RF per tick, which is very nice, but I can do far better than that with the Environmental Tech Solar Array, and I've got a tier 5 solar array, and it's producing something like 400 some thousand RF per tick, which is way more than this reactor is doing. So I really don't need this reactor anymore. But there's a problem. And if we look up above, there's no solar array. Because when I logged in this morning, it wasn't working. It wasn't working here in the nether at all. All the other arrays that I have from the different mods, those solars work just fine in the end, but this one doesn't. Tier 5 doesn't, and I couldn't get it to work anywhere. I moved it to the overworld, and it didn't work. And let me go jump to the overworld and show you what I'm talking about here. Let's go home. Here at the base, let's go out here. I went ahead and took my solar array and brought it over here, and we can take a look real quick, and it's generating 476, almost 477,000 RF per tick, which is amazing, and this is the tier 5, but when I built it over here in the overworld, it didn't work until I made this single tier 6 solar array cell, stuck that in it, and boom, now it started working. But only here in the overworld. It still won't work in the nether. Not in the nether. In the end, it will never work in the nether because the nether is always night. Even though the end looks like it's always night, it is a day. Or at least it gets enough solar radiation in there. So this is working here. And I'm going to move it here to the overworld. Yeah, it'll only work half the time. But with, 500,000 RF per tick, I'm okay with that. Now, the problem I was having is this is producing so much power. These things, even though I had 4 surrounding it, they can only do 30k RF per tick per side. And there's only 5 sides on that, so that won't work. So I went ahead and created this cryo-stabilized flux duct because that can port out infinite amount of energy. So that would allow me to, as you can see, I'm kind of clustering stuff around. The orange allows energy from the reactor to come in. Not that I really need it, but it's there. Anyway, I was thinking I could do, with 4 of these, I could do 120k on each layer. So that's 120k, that's 240k, and on and on and on. And that would do the entire 500,000 RF. And then I decided, I don't really want this cluster of power cells. As nice as having all of them are, that doesn't really scale, because once you get to the tier 6, that's like 1.7 million RF. That's a huge amount of RF, and I'm not going to sit there and triple the size of this. That's not going to happen. So instead, what I'm going to do is bring this closer to my power cell. And so this right here, you can see I'm going to set up my power on top of my base. Just because this guy being the main power source has to be outside, and this is the easiest way for me to move stuff. There are some other methods, but I'm going to go with this. Anyway, if we click this guy here, we can tier him up. Let's go to tier 5. Okay, we got those in place. Tier 6, maybe tier 7. Let's do the active builder's guide. You can see how much redstone it needs and how much draconium blocks it needs. It's kind of cool looking. That I can do very easily. I've got enough resources for that. And tier 7, that's going to hold a gob of power. Now, we could go up to tier 8, which is the max. The problem with that, though, is it's going to want some awakened draconium. And I don't have that much. And each 4 blocks is killing a dragon. And I don't feel like killing the dragon that many times. That, you know, lazy. Don't feel like it. And I've got everything else, but yeah, I don't want to do that. But I can very easily do this one. That's not a problem. And so I could just break everything down below and put it back up here and just lose all that power. But I think what I will do, since I've got enough to build this as is, I'll build this and then start transferring the power from down below up to here, and then I can decommission that part. Anyway, these are set up 15, there's 15 blocks between the core and this, just because I like the beams of power that they will produce. I think it looks really cool, so that's why I put them out at a distance. And then this right here is 15 blocks away from the core, so I can put the power cell from the not the power cell, the solar array cell, this little controller here, I can put it right on top of this, build the array here right on top of this cell, or the power ball, and then I can put up one of those energy pylons that will pipe in the power, and it, I believe, will be able to handle all the power that I'm producing from this. Since it's connected right to it, boom, it'll do all 477 KRF a tick. So I don't even have to worry about flux ducts. I don't have to worry about these power cells. All of it will just pump it right in. And I could make more of these. I don't see the need. I'm not really generating that much power drain that it matters. So I need to go ahead and build this thing and activate it and move this over. So I think I'll go ahead and move this over first because that's the easiest. I think I'm ready to switch things over. The power array has been moved over so it's directly on top, so it's symmetrical because, you know, that's always nice. And I've got the core, not the core, but the pylon right below it, so it should be firing everything down in there. Then I also went ahead and surrounded it by these power cells, the advanced power cells. They do 30 KRF a tick, so that's 120 there. These are set to be outputting in here, so power, let's see which channel. That's my incoming power stuff, so that will shove stuff into there, so that should work. And then down below is my output, because everything's down below. Anyway, so this one here, this is my channel 23 where everything gets charged up. And you can see I've got lots of power still in there, even though nothing's really coming in. Anyway, so I've got 5 of them, so it's the max out. And I can make more of these pylons if I need to, but that's 120. That's 150,000 RF per tick. And I don't come even close to needing that much. Maybe if I start doing something a little bit later, but right now, no. These guys, I had to move in 1 block. You can see the stabilizers are valid. They were not showing up as valid where they were, so I moved them in 1 block and they're fine. And there's the building guide. I love that. Makes it so much easier. Let's put these final blocks in place, and we should have a fully functional 7th tier. Yep, everything's good. Let's activate. Boom. I love these lasers. You know, it looks really, really cool. All right, so now if we click here, get close enough to click, it's saying there's no energy going in. That doesn't make sense because this should be going in. Do I have it wrong? Oh, okay. Oh, was it feeding these? That can't be right. Oh, did I need to just update the block? I think that's all I need to do is just update the block. These need to be done afterwards. In any case, there's 0 power because it's generating the full amount and it's just going straight in. You can see with the particle effects. Zoom. And this one, let me break a block here. There we go. That connected. So yeah, it really wants to be created after the fact. So now it's pulling in energy from here. Let's take a look how it's doing. Yeah, it's growing more than it's feeding out, which is okay. What's happening here? It's feeding the rest of the processing. So let's go downstairs. And if we go down 1, 2 over to this setup. So this one, and you can also click to the side, this has a 0 transfer thing. Nothing should be coming in. These are 4. Let's go ahead and break all of this here because we don't need this. There's no more power going into this setup. But what we do want to do is have this going out. Actually, let's change these because, yeah, let's rebuild this again really quick. Symmetrical, we always want to be symmetrical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's put one there. You go there. Let's get the glass. That goes on top. And I'm going to right click the glass. So now it's pulling power out of here. Let's grab these two. You and you. And you. So this should be pulling power out, but these are all set for, there's still 4. These are all set for out. So let's bring them, suck in the power. In and in. So now this should be pulling power into these, into number 4, and there's the 90K coming out. So let's go ahead and take these cards, because what we're going to do is change these to the 4th network as well. And link, now you're all 4s. And then ba-doom, ba-dink, ba-donk. All right, so this now, why are you building up? Oh, I may not be, yeah, so it's coming out 180, which, oh, because I've got 6 pulling out and I've only got 4 up above pushing in. I've got too many of these. So that's the problem. Let's break that, there, and now these will stay the same. So we got 4 pulling out of this power ball and 4 going in. We are the same. In fact, if we go upstairs again, 1, 2, let's fly on out. These guys should be pumping in the power. I love the little stream. It says, yep, we're going in a huge amount. So that's the 100 and, let's see, that's 4, so that's 120K from down below, plus the almost 500,000 from this, during the daytime at least. And that will go ahead and feed in this power ball, and we should be good to go. All right, so I could go ahead and get rid, you know, I could make another one of these connectors. We could have 2 down there feeding in and 2 up here pushing into this. But I'm okay. This will go ahead and run just fine. These I'm going to move out of here and use elsewhere. But good. So we're transferring over the power, and this should give me something very stable. And I don't know. Maybe the tier 6 will work over in the end. But at this point, I don't care, because this, and I really don't need these once the power from down below has been moved. But this setup will feed all the power I need into my power ball. Even with the tier 6 solar array, I'm fine. I don't need to do anything more than that. I don't have to worry about the cryo ducts or any other wireless energy transfer. I'm good. We'll just keep it here in the same dimension, and life is grand. All right, so that should take care of that. But that's not what I really wanted to do today. That was just a secondary thing, just because things got kind of messed up. So, oh, let's go down one more. There we go. And I want to drop off these power cells because I really don't need them right now. But if they're in the world, then they help contribute to the total amount of power that it can hold. Not that it really needed at this point, because we got these monsters. How are you doing? Oh, it just barely has gone down some. It's going to take a while to transfer all this, because, you know, at 59 gigabytes or giga RF, and it's doing 120K RF, that's going to take a while. It's going great. It's charging up very, very nicely. So that is done, but that's not really what I wanted to do today. I did this mainly because power wasn't working with this, and so I had to change everything. But what I really wanted to do was do some farming, and as you can see in the bottom there, Ocean Monument. I found one over here. It's not that far away. Let's see, so here's my base. You know, it's not very far away at all, and you can see it if you look in the water. You can see this little structure that tells you there's an ocean monument. There's another one right here. Let's zoom in on that. Where'd it go? There it is. There's another one here. There's another one further over right here, fairly close to that where it is. Oh, there's another one over here. Nope, that's something else. That's completely different. Yeah, that's just big. Anyway, there's several of these, and when I did my rowboat trip out, we came across several of them, and so I spotted this one fairly close. And so what I want to do is clear this out and set up a guardian farm, because to make prismarine, the only way I've been able to do that is you can either farm these guys, or you can use let's see, prismarine. You can either chop them up with the mob drops from these or the regular guardians, or you can use the atomic reconstructor. And the problem is it takes 30,000 RF to sit there and make that happen. And that means if you throw a stack, or if you need 2 or 3 stacks, it takes a while, because it can only do 9 at a time based off of the amount of power this thing holds, and then it's got to charge back up and then go again. So it's slow, and I don't want to be slow. I want to be fast. I want to have lots. So I went over into the end and snagged my builder from over there, and this one should just shove it into the whole overall AE system. And this is my fortune quarry, but it's a clearing one. So let's go ahead. That should remove these blocks, and that's what I'm mainly looking for. So let's go down here to this corner. And these guys can't really hit me. So let's go ahead and shift right click that guy. Go to the opposite corner. I'm getting this weird sound. But alright, so over here. Now that's just one layer, so that's not gonna cut it. Oh, there we go. Now I've got mining fatigue and I can't mine a thing. But what I do want to do, you can see it's got a height of 2. Well, that's not going to work. Instead, let's go ahead and make that a height of. Well, first let's go ahead and change this from solid to hollow for what we need, and let's make that a height of, say, 50. So that means we need to add. We're going to need to add some numbers to that, and off the top of my head, I don't know. So let's go in here, do the builder preview. That's too high. Actually, that may work. All right, let's go ahead and run it. Let's see it. Let's see what it does. Go. Oh, so it's chewing along. Oh, gotta stop that. Gotta stop that, because I left it on the hollow box, and that's not what we want. We want solid. So now, you know, because this, I was thinking that we could actually clear out some liquid out of here, but it doesn't look like it makes that structure, the guide. That's what it is in there. Anyway, so it's chewing down through there. It's getting rid of the water. Oh, that's going quite low. How low are you going? Oh yeah, that's way farther deeper than I thought it would be going, but that's okay. We're gonna unfortunately get some water lag, so I'm gonna go ahead and monitor this, because the water flowing through here is gonna cause some lag. But when this is all said and done, how are you doing? You're going fairly slowly. Yeah, that's the problem. It's going too slow. Let's pause that. And I need to send this into something so that these can go someplace, because I guess there's no room for those right now. And you can see the system is having a hard time keeping up with this. Let's actually check and see how much it's digging down there. Whee! Yeah, see, this is way too deep. I don't want to go this deep. I only wanted to go just to about here. But, oh well, that'll work too. We'll clear this all out. Why not? It probably would be good for me to put a put a boundary around this, so that there'd be no water inside, and so only the mobs so none of the guardians will spawn because there'll be no water in there. And so I need a barrier. So let me go ahead and make a bunch of glass, and we'll do that too. Blue glass all the way around the monument, and at this point, if we take a quick look, there are no guardians spawning outside the blue glass, and they're not swimming through it because, you know, hello, solid. But they are spawning inside, so that's fine. And let's go ahead and turn on this dually hit whacker here, and it should clear out all the water that was there. Yep, there goes the next batch of water. And this should strip out everything that's a block, as well as water, liquids, out of this area. So that'll de-waterify this place. It'll also get rid of all the structures and leave the mobs. So the 3 Elder Guardians I can go ahead and kill once they're exposed. And it's all clean. So that's pretty slick. Ooh, looks like it missed a little piece of water there. Anyway, this is going to kind of lag out the server, but again, nobody's on it right now at this hour, so that's just fine. And, you know, oh, hey, there's one of the Guardians right there, the Elder Guardians right there. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run and do its thing, and hopefully it will be finished fairly quickly. 9 hours later, and I'm down here in the big Dragon Ball Z room. And let's take a look at the status. It's all gone. It's all been transported out of here, which is just fine. I also took out the little transportation at the bottom, the pylons. So let's head on up and see how we're doing outside. Alley-oop. And I went ahead and decided to move them out here. So now I've got 3 of these, and because each of these power cells transfers 30K per side, it's getting, this cell right here in the middle is getting 30 from each of these 3. So that's 150 RF per, and so that's 450K RF that I can pull out of my Dragon Ball the Big down here. We take a look at this, it's almost 650 giga RF funneling in there, so that's about 30%, and we're doing about 1.7 million RF going in because I have here the tier 6 solar array, and that's 1.7 million RF. That's a lot of RF flying in. And so, you know, am I going to run my reactor over in the end anymore? No, because, you know, 1.7 million RF versus 34K? Yeah, I don't care. And so we're going to head over to the Guardian, and I misspelled that. It needs a U. Okay, well, let's head over to the Guardian farm. And there's been a little bit of work over here. It is completely emptied out, and I killed the big Guardians. And let's see, I made one of these to make life a little bit easier. Whoop, too far. This, you can see it's definitely cleared out here. And here's the killing shaft. Thump. Let's head on down. They're going to land right here on top of the absorption hopper, which will funnel into these drawers. And I'm thinking 12 items is going to be enough for the drops these guys make. I don't think they're going to do any more than that. And they're going to come from over here. So let's go on up through here. Whoop. This is my Guardian spawning area. And, you know, is this the most efficient Guardian spawning method? Oh, heck no, I don't think so. But I've not built this like this before, and I'm just going to experiment. Just one block above the top layer here is the height of where they can spawn, and just kind of at the bottom of where the glass and the gravel meet, that's the bottommost. So there's plenty more spaces, but that's okay. I'm not going to sweat it at all. Lots of bats because it's really dark down here. What I am going to do, let's before we put in the water, let's go ahead and connect this thingy. Where's my wand? There's my wand. I just went ahead and created this. I thought I had found it, but I hadn't. So 3 ender pearls and wand cores, which is just some blaze rods and nuggets. And so now I can go and come through. So if I come to right here, if I stand right on this block, and I shift right click with this. Yes, so this dislocator now is set to that block, and if I come over here and I right click that, yes, anything going up or down here gets teleported right to this area. So that's exactly what I want it to do. Let's break that block. And now, where's my glass? Let's go ahead and seal this up. And that. So they're going to spawn in there and fall all the way down. That's the killing method. And fall damage should be sufficient to kill them. And so now let's get up out of there. Oh, so nice. So I need water buckets because I'm going to use water as the method of moving these guardians about. And just the standard, you know, water should work on these guys. And I believe that they will spawn... doing two things at the same time, talking and doing water. They should spawn, definitely they should spawn in these source blocks. I am not sure if they will spawn in these smaller channels here. And you can see that they're built exactly 8 long. Poor bats flying in the water. And they're too high to keep them from hopping back up. They're just going to get forced along. And guardians are obnoxious like squid in that they can go ahead and fight the currents. But if they're not actively fighting, then they should just get pushed along. Now, let's go ahead and finish this up. These are quite wide. These are, whoops, 54, I think, is the width of the area that these guys can spawn in. So that's quite a large amount. So they will spawn. Let's come beyond this range. So they should start, if they will spawn there. I'm far enough away they should spawn. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. The other method that I'm going to use is I've got some drops of evil. So I think, and I'm not sure, but I should be able to get this to spawn or spread if I hit it with the drops of evil. And they should spawn and then get transported too. So I'm going to go ahead and finish with the water methods here. And then we will see if that will start spawning. And if not, we'll get it going with the drops of evil. Well, that's kind of a bust. I've been sitting here for maybe 5 minutes. Whoops, waiting for this to work, and nothing's spawning. Now, if we go up, whoop, we've got all the water here, so that's working as designed. And if we go down, suffocate. Sure, I will. I'm invincible. So if I hit this with cursed earth, or turn this into cursed earth. Oh no! Don't tell me that the water is stopping that. That may be an issue. Dang it! And I don't want to sit there and do an individual piece for each one. Let's get back up there. Yeah, see, that's cursed earth there, and I'm not sure if that's going to spread. Maybe I should have tossed. Let's see, lights. Yeah, see, there's no light here. That's not an issue. There might be some light coming around the edges during the day, but I don't care. It's going to be so dark in the center. Oh, there's one. There's one. So, hey, you're not supposed to jump up that high, you jerk. Anyway, oh, go in there. Get in there. There he goes. Ooh. Hey. Did it look like he was outside there to you? Oh, why did you glitch through? You're not supposed to be able to glitch through. You're supposed to fall through and die. I'm not sure if it will spread. That would be mighty nice if that will spread. Oh, how'd you... But you're supposed to be up there. Did it move? Is it teleporting to the wrong spot, or are these guys actually able to glitch through the glass? I'm I'm not sure. That seems very, very strange. Oh, fish. That's another drop. Stick that in there. All right, so these guys are being obnoxious and jerkwadish. But they definitely will spawn based off of this stuff. So I might get rid of all the water, curse the earth, and then put the water back. But first I need to make sure that it's actually going through the right place. This is just weird. These guys are just being jerks. Okay, let's take glass, toss it out there. Glass flows down, flows down, flows down, goes whoop, right through. And that should fall straight through there. Yeah, and see, it got caught. So I'm not really sure where the Guardians are squeezing out here. It just doesn't make sense. But, you know, in any case, they're teleporting high enough that they are falling to their deaths from up there. I think it's like a 34, 35 foot drop, or I don't know, maybe 39. They need a decent amount of drop to actually die when they hit, and that's more than 39 there. Yeah. It needs cursed earth. It really needs cursed earth to make this happen, because just the water is not spawning them. Okay, that's a difference. That's a major difference. Now, only this top layer here is cursed. That's it. I haven't done anything more, and you can see they're bouncing like crazy over there. And I'm not quite sure whether they're pushing each other out, or it looks like some of them don't quite make it. I'm not sure what's happening there. But in any case, we're getting gobs and gobs of drops off of these guys. In fact, if we go into here, tons and tons and tons and tons. All right, this is more like it. Give me that glass. So this is definitely more like what I'm expecting here. Let's get some keys. I want the quantity key. There we go. Let's go ahead and hit that. There. It's noisy. Go away. Go away. I should get a muffler for this. But yeah, I can AFK here, and I will have all the prismarine I would ever need, fleshed fish, and never have to zap another one of those nether quartz into prismarine ever again. And I think I need a bigger radius on that thing, or these guys just aren't really cooperating. I wonder if I ring this with more solid blocks, if they would stay in there. I don't get it. Because anywhere you drop in that spot should put you right to that single location. Unless they're pushing each other. I don't know. Anyway, this is certainly working. And the nice thing is, because they're cursed Earth Guardians, what's happening is that you can notice that they're kind of that black. They will despawn after something like 50, 60 seconds. So even if they're having a hard time getting through here, we're not really killing the server too much. He said without really knowing. But if I'm not here, if this isn't loaded, it shouldn't be killing the server. It shouldn't be. Except we've got all these drops down there that definitely need to be taken care of. Anyway, I have a Guardian farm. And it's a pretty vast Guardian farm. It's an ugly Guardian farm, but it works. It works very much. And it's nothing like I've ever built for a Guardian farm. But that's okay. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here, playing a little Feed the Beast Revelation here on the Patron server. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.